Hi, today we're going to be doing a video about the introductions to ethics and professional standards. My name is Erin and I'm an advisor for the Flint, Mid-Michigan, and Oakland program, and we'll be having some other people join us today from the graduate office. So to start out with, we're going to be talking about how social work is a profession, and as such, there's certain things and certain expectations that you'll be expected to uphold as your time in the program and then on. Professions have a code of ethics and standards. We're going to go over this a little bit on the next slide, and professional expectations for the program are really important to understand and to follow. And we have some resources that we're going to provide you to help you know how you uphold yourself in a professional manner at all times in the program. This is the NASW Code of Ethics. You should all be well familiar with this as you signed a document saying that you've read it and that you're aware of it. And you're going to continue to get to know the Code of Ethics even more in every single one of your classes. It's integrated into everything we do. So please be familiar with it and be able to use it, have access to it, and let it guide you in all the practice that you do. In the Code of Ethics, we really want to highlight the 6 core values, which are service, importance and centrality of human relationships, social justice, integrity, dignity and worth of all persons, and competence.
Hi, I'm Kelly Fornwell. I'm the advisor for Statewide Blended and Weekend program. And kind of building off of what Erin just talked about as far as the Code of Ethics, expectations to operate as a professional in the field while in field placement classes and when out in the wider world. That's kind of the idea of this presentation, is kind of be able to provide you with resources so that you know how to do that effectively, and kind of so you are really, really familiar and clear on what those standards and expectations even are. So from the manual that we're going to go over, Paul's going to talk about that, but there's a quote in there that it was really important, and we just feel that is a good synopsis of what needs to be happening. So professional and ethical behavior in the university context applies not only to work with clients, but also to interactions, relationships, or communications with fellow students, faculty, staff, field liaisons, and instructors, and all others within the university or with whom students have contact in their role as an MSW student. This includes interactions, relationships, or communications in person or via the use of technology. I'm going to talk about that a little bit more, but so it really applies to all of your, as a student, all of your communications, all of your interactions, that we need to be upholding these standards across all aspects. So how can students demonstrate behavior? Of course, the way that you present yourself, how you act in general, so kind of how you're interacting or acting if you're doing any kind of presentation, or just even how you're acting day to day, how you're approaching people, phone etiquette. We're going to talk about a little bit more, how you write and send emails, and making sure that you're citing sources appropriately. Paul's also going to talk about that with regards to avoiding plagiarizing. And all of that together really is what will set you apart as a professional student, and then as you move into the field, demonstrating professionalism. Specifically with regard to communication, we thought it was really, really important to address this, and this may seem basic or that you already know all this stuff, but we really want to highlight just some specifics as to how you need to be presenting yourself in your communication. When you are speaking, if you're bringing an issue to an instructor or to one of us advisors, anyone in the graduate office at the university, you need to speak on behalf of yourself only. And it's really easy to say, oh, some classmates and I feel this way, or we all are in agreement. And that language really takes power away from other people, because they need to be doing that as individuals. But it also can maybe, things can be misconstrued, and so you really need to just speak on behalf of what you're feeling, what you're thinking, what you need, advocating for yourself alone. Again, advocating for yourself is really important, but we need to be clear that advocating for yourself and complaining or setting expectations for other people, those are not the same thing. If there's something that you need as a student, and then as you get into the field of social work, advocating for yourself is very, very important, but you have to do that effectively. Keep the golden rule in mind, so do as to others as you would want done to you. Just kind of keeping that as forefront of when you're working with somebody, when you're going to address somebody, address an issue, ask a question, just showing them that respect. And so that goes on to the next one, that you're just keeping respect as the main idea throughout everything, respecting each other as colleagues in the profession, as fellow students, and also anybody at the university, instructors, advisors, and such. No fishing for answers, and that just means if you don't get the answer that you want from one person, going and finding it from someone else is not an effective way to communicate, nor is it show that professionalism that's expected. So go to the right person to get the right answer, and go from there rather than finding somebody who's going to give you what you want to hear, because they may not have the authority to actually give you the answer that you need to know. Chain of command, of course, there's lots of layers at the university, lots and lots of layers. And so being aware of that chain of command, you need to start at the bottom and work your way up so that you're working with the right people, you're getting those answers from the correct people, but you're also not jumping rank and muddying things up more than it needs to be. Of course, keeping the ethics in mind, the code of ethics that we're to live by. Phone and voicemail, of course, this seems also basic, but when you're communicating via phone and voicemail, make sure that you're clear. If you're leaving a voicemail, make sure you're leaving your number at least 2 times, slowly, clearly, so that we can get your contact information, and so we can respond appropriately. Anybody can respond in a timely manner. We know who we're getting the information from. And email, make sure that you're using your MSU email. I know it's easy to just use either your work email, personal email that you're used to doing, but the MSU email that was given to you is what you need to be checking regularly, daily if possible, to make sure that you're not missing anything. That's where all the information from the university comes, from the school, and so we wouldn't want you to miss out on something important. And that's how your instructors will also be communicating. So make sure you're checking your MSU email. Be thorough in reading the email and responding. So if someone has asked you a question, make sure that you're responding to that question, that you're giving them the ample amount of information so that they can make a determination or respond to you and whatever your needs or wants are. Make sure you're using your name. Emails, specifically the MSU email, it's kind of arbitrary how they assign some of that. There's lots of numbers involved sometimes, or just parts of names, and so it's hard to figure out who stuff is coming from. And so using your name, indicating maybe your cohort, your learning community, if you're in a cohort program, location, any kind of indicator of who you are as a student, that's just a good way to start and make sure that you are getting the right information to the right people and that they can respond effectively.
I'm Paul Drifcheck. I'm the East Lansing Academic Advisor for the MSW program, and I'll be wrapping up the presentation today. So the MSW manual is available to all of you as students in the program. It's available through the website, through the social work website, which is listed at the bottom of the slide. It contains all the information you need to know about the policies while you're a student in the program. So it's everything from academic policies, field placement policies, as well as your rights and responsibilities. So we do very much recommend that you read over this, have a general understanding and grasp of the information that's contained there. It's policies related to everything from attendance, grades, and if you ever have a grievance or any other issues that come up related to academic or field placement issues, as well as knowing just your general rights and responsibilities as a student. It is very helpful, and we do recommend that you spend time looking that over. In terms of the university, there are also other sources of information for you. Starting with the social work program, we do have a website that is available for helping you with advising related to the MSW program. That helps you connect to us as advisors, as well as general updates that we may have about the program and what's helpful for you. Also, the field education office has a link, which is here as well, with information about field education specifically. They have rights and responsibilities listed there, as well as helpful documents and resources that would be useful for you while in the program. Another resource for the university is the Ombudsperson office. They have information on your rights and responsibilities as well as the grievance procedure and ability to discuss concerns and help with questions. They are a confidential office, so they are able to discuss things without necessarily sharing information across the university. All of these resources and more are available to you. We do recommend that you spend some time looking over these, as well as finding other resources that may be applicable to you that are more specific to your identity or situation in the program. We are also always available to help answer any questions about the program and are willing to meet with you, whether in person, through Zoom or Skype, on the phone, whatever works best to be able to communicate and be supportive of you while you're in the MSW program. So in conclusion, this is from the Ombudsperson Office. You are responsible for learning the rules and regulations that govern your life at the university. You all are adults. We respect you as adults. We want you to be able to be successful in the program. And so we just ask that you spend some time looking over the resources and responsibilities that you have, but we are also always here to help support you in those decisions and process. So thank you and have a good day.